Tuesday, July 21st, 2020, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So Billy is fast asleep, but don't be deceived. He's guarding his 2 kilogram silver bar. And if you get anywhere close to that bar, he will really not be happy. So yeah, he seems like a peaceful little dog, but when someone comes for his silver, he doesn't compromise. He is a silver bug. So Billy's happy right now. Of course, silver starting to catch up with gold. You might say, wow, it's outperforming gold. Well, maybe right now it is, but it hasn't been for the last few years. And we still haven't reached the July 2016 high, which was just above 21, around 21.15. But we're on the way, I think. Markets are never certain. Markets never go up or down in a straight line. You need to be patient. Billy, yeah, he is a silver bug, but I've been a silver bug as well. I bought my first gold coin in 2002, and it was just maybe a year or 9 months later, I started buying my silver bars and silver coins. At the time, I think I paid just over £3 for an ounce of silver with the VAT. I was a bit concerned about the VAT, but I'm not anymore. It's over $16 in pounds. So if you bought it at $3.20 without the VAT, and with the VAT it was £3.60, does it really matter? Of course, if you can get the silver without the VAT in the UK, good for you, but I wouldn't be too concerned. The other way you can get silver, of course, is through the old coinage, the pre-1920 coins in the UK, or the 64 and before in the US. They contain a lot of silver. This is a half crown from 1918, so it's 925 silver, the purity, and this is a shilling from 1900. So they're all silver. Of course, 925. Why did the coinage have less than 100% silver? Well, to make sure that it didn't wear out, they used to alloy it with other metals. That's why. I don't recommend people buying 999 gold or silver. Yes, they're very pretty, the coins, but you need to be really careful with them. So there you go. Silver is making a move. Yes, I made a video about, well, it was just over 2 weeks ago on the 4th of July. And why did I do that? Well, because the FT wrote an editorial, a guy at the FT called John Dizard, saying don't bet on the silver boom. The industrial metal will not be dragged up by gold. So there you go. I went through that article. I went through another editorial that they had anonymous back in 2004 in this same video. I'm going to put this video up in the cards and in the description. You can listen to that. So it looks like right now the silver bottom, FT silver bottom, looks like it's working. So let's check and see where we are this morning. Silver is moving very quickly. I remember I didn't trade much silver for my clients, but I had a colleague who had a client that wanted to get involved in silver, and I knew a lot about the market. So we got him involved, and he did very well. I think he got in the teens. That was back in, well, over 10 years ago, and he made a fortune from being long silver that time. And I think a lot of fortunes can be made here. Am I saying people need to go and leverage and borrow money to buy silver? No, I don't do that. I just keep stacking. That's my recommendation. Yes, you can check other avenues like mining stocks, silver mining stocks. You need to do your homework. But anyway, right now, it's just gone past 8 a.m. London, and silver is at 2038, up just under 50 cents, another 2.43%. The high has been 2048. And as I said, the key level now is going to be 2115, I would say. It could be a little different for other people depending on at what price they're looking at. I'm looking at spot silver, not the future. So I'm going to bring up the chart here. It's a weekly chart going back to before silver had its bull run back in 2010, 2011, when it almost reached 50. The silver bottom has been very frustrating. But as I've said many times with precious metals, gold and silver, monetary metals especially, they're just money, they're savings. If you don't need to dip into your savings, you hold on to it. So here we go. You can see I drew a trend line there earlier. We've broken through that. And you can see why that 2016 high is so important, in my opinion. And I think it's going to be tough to stop it there. Yes, the bullion banks will probably try to stop it. I think Mr. John Dizard, seeing the FT, is a globalist publication, was trying to keep people away from silver. He didn't succeed. I think we're going to go through that level quite easily. Am I saying it's going to happen today or tomorrow? No, it could take a little while, but it's definitely looking really good. The drop back in March, that was a bear trap, I would say. That's when I bought a little more silver that day that it dropped like to 11 handle. I called Oliver Temple at Gold Investments. I still have, of course, the promo code if you want to get involved in precious metals, Maneco64 at Gold Investments. You get 0.5% discount off the offer price. They're very reputable dealers, Gold Investments. I started buying gold and silver with Oliver's dad back in 2002, Mike Temple. But anyway, yeah, he was able to get me a few coins, not that many. Well, yeah, some Britannias, but it was hard. So I'm glad I bought them there. I'm not going to sell them now, but yeah, it's looking really good right here, silver. And it's been unloved for many years, silver. So I think it's just the beginning of the bull market in silver. Of course, 50 is going to be a very key level. Not just because it was the high in 2011, but it was the high in 1980 as well. So it's a massive level. Once I think we break through, and I think we will, 2110 or 15 or thereabouts, silver is really going to go on steroids, so to speak. It's going to get really wild. You will see $1 or $2 moves a day. That's happened many times before. Yeah, you will probably see the COMEX trying to raise margins, trying to stop the price of silver from rising too much. And so what's going on now? What's changed? Well, I think people are starting to realize that silver is also a monetary metal, not just an industrial metal, like John Dizard said back on July 4th. He says the industrial metal. And I spoke in that video how the name of money in different languages, like in French, they call money argent. That means silver. In Spanish, plata. Even in the UK, sterling, the currency, that comes from sterling silver. So it's in human beings' DNA. Silver is money. There's the old saying, of course, gold is the money of kings. Silver is the money of gentlemen. Barter is the money of peasants or farmers. And I'm not being denigrating, that's just a saying. And paper, of course, is the money of slaves. So there you go. Be a gentleman or a gentlewoman or a lady and hold on to your silver or keep stacking. Is it too late to buy silver? No. I think it's just beginning, really. Don't chase it. just as you would save money every month, if you save, of course, if you have any leftover national fiat currency left, you buy a little silver here and there. It's a lot cheaper, of course, than gold. So where is gold this morning? Well, it is catching up a little bit. Of course, it is lagging silver. We are at 1822.50, up just over $5. So we are making a new high for the year here. The high overnight has been 1824. As I said before, 1825 is the highest closing for the month, in any month ever for gold, even though we did trade up above 1900 back in 2011. The highest monthly close was 1825. So this is going to be a little bit of a resistance here, but it looks like silver is really dragging gold a little bit now as well. Quickly look at the gold silver ratio. Yeah, it got really elevated earlier this year. I think it went almost to 125, and now it's trading back down. We're still a long way away from 30, which was pretty much where the low was, as you can see, back in 2011. What this means is how many ounces of silver you can buy with 1 ounce of gold. So if that's going down, it means that silver is outperforming. Usually in bull markets in the monetary metals, that ratio drops. We need to go step by step though. The next big resistance, I think, as you can see there, is around 80. We're now even below 90. We're at 89.67, the gold silver ratio. What about the rest of the markets? Well, yesterday I saw that the Dow and S&P didn't do much, but the NASDAQ continued to rally strongly. And this morning, there's some headlines here about the EU. EU leaders strike deal on recovery fund after marathon summit. That's from the FT. It says 750 billion euro plan will help pay for the reconstruction of Europe after COVID-19. I didn't realize the health crisis had destroyed Europe, because when you reconstruction, it almost sounds like a headline from after World War II, right? It's ridiculous. This is just more debt. More debt. That's all it is. And probably one of the reasons why silver is going up. This is the socialist Keynesian mindset, statist mindset that governments and politicians need to help the economy. In the UK as well, we've had more deficit spending. FT reporting UK government borrowing its record in first quarter of financial year. Deficit rises to 128 billion between April and June, an increase of 104 billion on same period in 2019. Yeah, this is going to get worse, a lot worse. But be as it may, the stock markets this morning are focusing on this stimulus from the EU. I haven't read the details, but maybe I'll read it later and make another video sometime soon about it. But the Dow futures up 190 right now at 26,868. S&P future is up 19 points at 3270, and the Nasdaq 100 futures up 100, just under 1%. We're seeing the dollar weaken a little bit here. We've got the pound up 0.4% at 127.10. Makes sense, right? Huge deficits and the pound's going up. Maybe it's because the deficits and the debt in the US are even worse, or maybe it's just time for the other fiat currencies to rise against the dollar for now. But in the long term, you can bet all these national fiat currencies are going to be a lot lower versus real money, and that's of course gold and silver. The euro is at 114.60, just up 1/8%. Dollars unchanged against the Japanese yen at 107.28. We are at 698.70 versus the yuan, the dollar. So the dollar is fairly weak here. I guess that does help gold a little bit and silver, but it's not the most important thing because we've seen the dollar rise quite a lot since the low in 2008. And at the time, gold is $1,000. Now gold is 1820. So yeah, in the short term, it does help the metals, but in the longer term, as I said, hold on to your monetary metals. WTI crude is up 0.5% at 41.14. And to finish off the market, the 10-year yield is still very subdued at 0.614%. So unchanged. So I guess bond investors still think that central banks are going to have their back. How long can yields stay this low with all the inflation they're creating? And by inflation, I don't mean the CPI. I mean all the money and credit they're creating out of thin air. So there you go. Before I finish, just wanted to say that as Billy is a silver bug, like me, we have a few products in the Teespring store. There's a mug called Billy the Silver Stacker, as you can see here. And there's another one called Billy the Silver Bug, if you're interested. It helps the channel a little bit, and it's a bit of fun. So there you go. Silver train is leaving the station. I think it's still early days. It's never too late, I think, to save in real money or stack. There you go. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Please share it far and wide. Think about subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet. And you can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and all these other platforms below here. I wish you all a great day. Take care. Bye.